Hey everybody. Larry, Fort Worth Memories Museum and Groups, and we're on YouTube at Fort Worth Memories. Let me get us lined up in the correct deal, so we don't need that picture in there. We can use that picture. And I'm going to... That's too much stuff to try to... I'm going to see if I can... Scott's got to come over here, and that's too much. I don't want to do it that way. So we'll figure it out tomorrow. Okay, we got some stuff to talk about. And we're going to share it to the internet. And we're going to share it to memories, live videos, and messages. Okay? Well, we don't have anybody in yet. I'll pick it up on this other. Probably can pick it up better that way. Let's see if I'm on the right screen there. Okay, I am. Alright, waiting for somebody to come on. Jim is in. This is kind of a off hour for me to be on. So I'm coming on. The reason I'm coming on before I leave to go to the house is Spectrum is winding up their stuff. I can post stuff, but there's not enough juice or whatever it takes to run these live videos. So, but they assured me by in the morning, all of that, they put that underground cable or whatever. So I guess, Jim, it's just me and you until we get some more people in here. But there's 2 or 3 things I want to talk about. There's a lot of people trying to join the group, and there's some rules that we go by. And number 1, if Sarah's in, if you try to join Fort Worth Memories, it's a private group, and you've locked your profile, you won't be on, and I block you. I look at everybody's profile that comes on and either accept them or reject them. So if you say, I wonder why he didn't accept me, if your profile's locked, you're not getting on the group. Then I look at the post you've made. If there's a lot of GoFundMes or something like that, you're not getting on the group. We don't do GoFundMes. Not on Memories. If you're trying to advertise your business, you're not getting on the group. We have sponsors that pay money, and I promote their business. We just signed a new one up today, Termite King. Brad is 17 years in the pest control business, and so I will be posting his stuff. So if you just come on there and you've got Bob's Construction Company and you think well, I'll join this group and kind of sneak in some. You won't be on there because I'm going to look at your post, and if you post a lot of your business stuff, you're not coming on. So in other words, we figured out two things. If you've locked your profile, you're not coming on. Three things. If you're just sending GoFundMe, so now you're thinking, well, I'll get on this group with 130,000 people and somebody's bound to send me money, you're not getting on. Because we don't allow GoFundMes. I've made exceptions, very rare, maybe one or two in 10 years. Number three, if you're trying to advertise your company, you're not getting on here. If you want me to promote your business and I do all the posting, you call me, and if we don't have anybody in that particular field, just like right now, I signed up Brad with Termite King, a pest control company. So if another pest control company wants to come on, they can't, because I just signed him up for a year. So I'm just laying down some ground rules so to make things easier. We have upwards of 200,000 people that look at our stuff every day. Really more than that. The numbers this morning were, in the last 28 days, we had 3.8 million views. So that breaks down to what, 130 or 40,000 views per day. Mario's in, Joyce is in, Tino's in. So we're working on trying to make this more efficient, and so we're having technical issues as we're adding different stuff. Scott will be over here tomorrow, and just work with us. It'll take a little bit. Joyce is in. It'll take a little bit to get all the kinks worked out. The lunch club meeting this Saturday is a birthday party. Mario, I hope to see you there. Tino, everybody, Linda, Joyce, everybody. It's at Rex's Bar and Grill, which is next to the old South Pancake House on University. From 10 a.m. till 2. Should have a big crowd there. There's Robert. So the video that I made yesterday, somebody asked me to post, well, several people asked me to post that deal. What it was, it happened in 2014. And you can't, if I post, I put the link on there, and when you put the link on there, there's about 10 commercials, so I'll find it and I'll read it. In fact, I'll do it right now. But I posted the actual article, and it was from 2014. So the article starts off, stolen items of a fallen officer found 35 years later. Fort Worth police officer Jimmy Chadwell, who was shot and killed in the line of duty in 1978. Around that time, a box filled with family memories were stolen. Recently, detectives tracked it down on eBay. This is 35 years later. So the sergeant said, "It's never too late to make a difference or solve a case. Just ask Police Sergeant Brent Halford." He says, "I think this is a once-in-a-career thing." The 13-year veteran of the force recently helped solve a cold case dealing with a missing box from the late 1970s. The box belonged to the fallen officer Jimmy Chadwell, who was shot and killed in the line of duty in 1978. Hold on. Around the time he was killed, the box ended up missing from the Chadwell home, Halford said. Last month, the sergeant got a tip that someone was advertising a posting on eBay that listed hundreds of photos of Chadwell. At first I didn't believe it, but sure enough the post appeared to be authentic. It showed photos, personal items, and letters, and even report cards of Chadwell's children. Now, Officer Chadwell's son just retired as the Eagle Mountain ISD superintendent, Dr. James Chadwell. The family and Halford hoped to make the winning bid for the collection, but were outbid by a local history buff named Larry O'Neill. This is the only time I've experienced anything like this, O'Neill said to Channel 8 News. Once we got wind of how police were trying to track down the box's contents, he agreed to forfeit his online purchase, which was $1,850. The family received all of the stuff in the boxes over the weekend. I never got the boxes. Those officers, male and female, they protect us, said O'Neill. Police aren't ready to share yet just who stole the box back in the 70s. They say the person who originally posted it on eBay picked it up at an estate sale. That's a lie. The circumstances ran. Anyway, Halford said the most important thing is that the items were back with the Chadwell family. That's it. They thanked me. So that's all it was. But I never saw the items. And so I tell people, when you do the right thing, it always comes back tenfold at least. So that year, 2014, our bicycle giveaway, I had 30 police officers that helped me gather up bikes besides my car dealers and the detail shop customers, and they helped give them away in uniform. 30 police officers, men and women. So here's the diamond in the rough. The following 2 weeks later, on a Thursday, I get a phone call. This is the old museum over on West 5th. And a gentleman says, is this Larry? Yes, sir. You going to be there tomorrow on Saturday? Yes. On Saturday morning, Dr. Chadwell, the superintendent of Eagle Mountain ISD, and his wife pulled up to the museum. I'd never seen them before. They introduced themselves, and I said, wow, that was your dad's stuff. I'm glad you got it. And we talked for about 15, 20 minutes. He looked around in the museum. She did too. Then he said, can you help me out in my car? And he brought back all the stuff that I bought, plus more stuff. So in the end, I didn't lose my money, but it didn't matter. I didn't even think about it. When the detective said, we talked about it, eBay will not release any information, even do a court order. And so I called eBay and I said, look, I won that bid. Y'all have taken my money. We need to know who the seller was. And they finally released it to me. And I released it to the Fort Worth detective. But when he said that stuff was stolen out of a garage 35 years ago. And I said, wow. And I said, okay, so I said, I don't have it. They've never sent me anything. This is 3 or 4 days after the auction. And he said, I know, we've got a court order trying to delay it in case you didn't want to play ball. And I said, no, and I said, so what do we need to do? And he said, the stuff belongs to the Chadwell family. I said, I agree, wholeheartedly. And so he thanks me, and I said, wait a minute, what about my almost $2,000? And he said, Larry, I guess you're just going to have to eat it. I said, that's fine, no problem. I do that for police or fire or whatever. And so, but it turned around that I had 30 officers helped me with the bike giveaway that year. And it was on West 5th. We ran the cars down Carroll Street up to University and then out. And if I remember correctly, 2014, I think we gave away about 500 bikes. I've got it written down. I don't know of any of y'all that were with me during the 24th. That was 11 years ago. But anyway, so doing the right thing always works. Robert's in, there's nobody else in. So that's the deal. And I posted the article. I posted a video rotating deal, but it moves too fast for you to read it. But that's all that was. So anyway, we all try to do the right thing, I hope. So we need lots of people at the birthday party. So the birthday party is Saturday at Rex's Bar and Grill. Don Curry's going to be there. Y'all come by, and I'm going to give Don a Boxing and Cowtown t-shirt and a cap. And there'll be some, I sent Stevie a message, Super Kid, Stevie Cruz. We'll get some boxers there. Manny Ramirez is coming. Come on in. Yeah, come on in, have a seat. So that's all the deal was with that stuff from that stolen, the items from the stolen officer. But he was killed in the line of duty. That was 1978. Okay, so I've got company. I will, what is it, 12:37. I'll be back before I go live because they're digging a ditch at the farm to lay that underground cable. They said it'd be ready at 6 a.m. tomorrow morning. So if you got any questions about anything, put it on the feed. And I think Scott's putting this new system together. He'll be here tomorrow. Half these cameras don't work, and he's going to fix them, and just bear with us and we'll get it fixed up. See y'all later. I forget how